Let's see. I'm joined here with Nathaniel and Ernie, and they are going to
It's teacher trivia.
teacher trivia. All right, go ahead.
Who is the first teacher in space?
First teacher is everything is in space.
First teacher to travel in space.
Buzz Lightyear. No, who's the first teacher? You tell me.
Krista McAl. I don't know.
All right, we'll have to do some post edit on that name. Go ahead.
What country has the highest paid teachers in the world?
Wherever it is, I'm moving there. New Zealand,
No, it's a small country.
Netherlands,
No, Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Wow. Okay, I need to move to Luxembourg. Cool.
Who wrote the book The First Days of School? How to Be an Effective Teacher.
I know this one. It was a husband and wife. Lang,
No.
Wang, Wong,
No. Yeah.
Wong.
Yeah, Wong.
There you go. Okay.
It's Harry and Rosemary Wong.
Harry Wong. That's right. Yep. Okay.
What is the average student to teacher ratio in U.S. public schools?
Average. Probably pretty high. I'm gonna say like 16-1.
Yeah.
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 There you go. Boom. Right on the dot. All right. Let's go. One more.
Which famous poet was also a teacher at the West Point Military Academy?
Poets. Robert Frost.
No, he wrote a really famous poem.
I mean, I'm sure.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe was
Yeah.
at West Point. Solid. Thank you for the teacher trivia. I'm glad I got a few right.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Hello? Hello? Hello, thank you for listening to Always Winning. I am your host, Kevin.
I'm your host, Christian.
I'm your host, Alanis.
Hello, thank you for listening to Always Winning. I'm your host, Lukas.
Hello, I'm your host, Kyla.
I'm your host, Ernie.
I'm your host, Mason.
I'm your host, Nathaniel.
Hello, thank you for listening to Always Winning. I'm your host, Reginald Von Hoopy Doopy.
Hello, I'm your host, Logan.
Hello, thank you for listening to Always Winning. I'm your host, Samantha.
Hi, I'm Alanis,
And I'm Samantha.
and we are going to be talking about the things that we would play with and just memories from our childhood before we graduate.
So, I have, I forget what the name of this toy is. It's like spiky. They're like little balls, and they would like stick together, and you can tear them apart. And they were most commonly like known for getting stuck in kids' hair.
Oh
And
my gosh, yes!
do you remember that? Bunchums. I think that's what it was. And I
Bunchums.
got a whole like big like batch of it in my head, in my hair.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard of that.
I feel bad for your mom
Yeah,
for
like
trying
7
to
years
pick
old.
out those things out of your hair.
Yeah.
I remember I used to collect people's pencils in like 4th grade.
Really?
Yeah. And
Did you steal them or find them?
no, I would find them on the floor and I
You
would just
harvest them.
I would harvest I would harvest pencils and I would just keep them in like my pencil case and whoever needed a pencil I'd be the first one to give them because I had like probably I'm being honest, I probably had like 56 of them. Yep. It's a lot.
Do you have any shows that you remember from
Arthur.
you used
I
to
love
watch?
Arthur.
I watched a lot of Clarence, and like,
You remember Umi Zumi?
oh yeah, I remember that too.
You're talking a lot about feeling younger or reminiscing on being younger. I guess I wonder. You mentioned you're about to graduate. You're in 8th grade. You're about to move on. Do you as eighth graders, do you feel old?
No, I'm like I still have a childhood, but there are like some things that I remember from like being like 8 years old and 7 and 9. Like that's like I'm still in my childhood.
I don't
Like,
feel old. I just feel like it's our time to move on. Like you
Move
know what
on
I
from
mean?
what?
Move on from like a new stage in life.
in a different school.
Moving
Yeah.
to a different school, literally.
And like high school is completely different from middle school. Completely different.
Yeah.
So it's
Especially-
gonna be like very weird to like navigate it once we get there.
It'll be weird at first, but you'll
Yeah.
grow into it.
Especially for me, because I'm not. Well, I wouldn't go to Kenilworth, so I'm being with like in a whole different group of people. At least if you went to Kenilworth, you'd still recognize people that used to go to Winfield and like your classmates.
Yeah.
So
This
like,
girl's
I have
leaving
no
me.
idea.
How
You're
could
leaving me
she?
too.
I feel like we'll always have like we'll always be like a child. Not like a child like you're a baby, but we'll always like remember because like
Yeah.
you'll probably like change like what's it called like the things you like as you get older,
Mhm.
but you'll always remember the things you liked from like years ago. But
I'm gonna end it
anyways,
right there. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is your host, Reginald Von Hoobidooby and Kevin. Today, we are going to make the ultimate tier list of nostalgic video games.
Alright, so we're gonna go up. So our honorable mention is Face Raiders from the 3DS. It was a game where you like took a picture of your face and your family face or anyone, and you had to like knock down the faces floating in the air. It was the most weird game ever, but it was just so fun.
At number 7, we have Overwatch.
Overwatch was one of my favorite games because my sister always played it and she had a whole YouTube channel for it and she did all that stuff.
Number 6, we have Super Mario Odyssey. Now, me and Kevin have many memories of me, him, and Jimby in his back patio playing this game on his Nintendo.
So one time, younger me got a little angry that I couldn't play Super Mario, so I took said switch and tossed it up in the air, and said switch hit the floor and went kaboom. It was fine though. The controls are just a little messed up.
Kevin has destroyed like 7 iPads from throwing it on the ground of his patio. And a TV. And a printer, almost.
4 TVs. Number 5, we got Minecraft. Minecraft. Also, my sister played, and I started playing it because of her. And I saw YouTube videos and stuff. They're even making a movie of it now with Jason Momoa
Jack Black.
and just all. Overall, it's just a good game, and bad graphics or good graphics.
At number 4, we have Undertale. Personally, I did not play this game, but the game style and the graphics is just very, like 2000.
Okay, so at number 3, one of my favorite games. It's getting down to one of my favorite games here. Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 I played all the time with my sister and her cousin and it was just so fun and we still do it to this day.
Number 2, we have Wii Sports.
Stop. My sister also used to play this game, but for my dad, they always got Sundays on Sunday. So I never knew how to play, but I got Sundays on that day, and they played. And now I play all the time. Well, not all the time. I play when I can with my dad still. It's just a fun game to play in general.
And at number 1, this may cause a riot, but we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate / Melee. I have a lot of memories of my brothers sitting in front of our old box TV, connecting the little wires and starting to play what they call it an Iron Man. So I just have a lot of memories of just sitting in the living room, trying to stay awake and watching them just destroy them. Well, it's just a fun memory.
I also played this in the basement of my aunt's house. It's the funnest game in general, and even my mom and my dad played this game. It was so fun, and there's just so many characters to play from.
I also have another honorable mention: World of Warcraft. All of my siblings used to share the same computer and the same account, and they would just have different characters. They would all fight over whether they could play or not, and it's just I remember sitting on the not the actual chair, but the arm of the chair, and just watching them play. And I always found it so interesting to just watch, and I was like, oh, I wish I could play this right now.
And that'll be it. So next week we'll tell you in my nostalgic TV shows.
Why don't you try that again?
You get the point.
Y'all ready?
You want to do the intro?
Yeah, sure.
Do your special intro.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, it's me, Mason with Lukas, and today we're going to be giving you updates on March Madness. Here we go.
March Madness started about 30 minutes ago. First game, I don't know how to pronounce their name. Maybe Creighton versus number 8 seeded Louisville. Creighton is number 9 seeded. Currently, it's 28-23. Creighton, who I like as a team personally.
We're both rooting for Creighton.
Me and Mason are both rooting for Creighton. High Point, 13 seeded High Point is playing number 4 seeded Purdue right now too. Don't know the score to that one because they are in commercial break, which is unfortunate. But my winner for March Madness, coming as an Alabama football fan, it hurts to say this, but Tennessee. I think Tennessee has what it takes to win March Madness this year. What about you, Mason?
Just going Duke, Cooper Flag.
Flag.
I think this year's March Madness is going to be one of the best that I've seen.
I mean, I already like the seeding that they did here. I like Auburn. I like Houston. I like Tennessee.
Montana versus Wisconsin.
I like how McNeese is a 12 seed and Clemson's a 5 seed, and they have the same exact record.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good game. That's happening today at 3:15 Eastern time. Mason, who do you think the best player in college basketball?
Probably Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. He's probably the best, but as a Rutgers fan, I have to say Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper. But there's an argument. I think Cooper Flag is probably the best. I think he's going to go number 1. Thank you guys for watching another episode or listening to another episode of Always Winning. And if you didn't, check out me and Brianna's special on YouTube or on Spotify. It was very fun to watch in class, and we had good laughs. So thank you for listening to another episode of Always Winning. And Christian will be back next week.
It's me, Mason. Goodbye.
Hello guys. Welcome back to it's kind of more Giants today, but we have Lukas here just to talk about one giant Jets signing.
All right, me and Mason, we have to talk about the signing. Every Jet fan is excited for Justin Fields, better than Tommy DeVito, and better whoever you guys are going to draft. But Justin Fields is an elite playmaker, an elite runner. He's got to get better at passing, honestly. But I think we can work on that, especially with the new system. Should have drafted him in 21 when we drafted Wilson over him. That was a rough time. And I'm ready for this new era of Fields. Nothing else, really. There you go, Mason.
Kevin,
Sorry for not talking about Mason, but so my bad, Mason. My bad.
Mason.
So the Giants signed a bunch of no names, but they signed one of my favorite re-signings. Well, my second favorite, Amir Smith-Marset. No one knows him, but he's our kick returner. We've had a kick returner issue for maybe 2 years now. We finally found one. And here we go. Here's one of my favorites also. The re-signing of Darius Slayton, one of our better wide receivers besides Malik Neighbors. And my favorite re-signing, Tommy DeVito has re-signed with the New York Football Giants. He's back.
Giants suck.
And now that I'm looking at it, Tommy DeVito only got $103 million for 1 year.
$103 million.
For how many years?
One.
You mean 1.3?
He did not get $100 million for 1 year.
1.3 million.
For 1 year.
Uh-huh. I wish he got that. He's the best quarterback ever. Best New York Giants. Best New York Giants quarterback ever. Tommy DeVito's better than both of them.
NFL for money is.
All right. This is Mason.
Mason.
Yup. me, Mason. Lukas and Kevin signing out. Jameis Jameis Winston just signed with the New York Football Giants. This is a crazy signing by the New York Giants. I do not want this signing to happen, and it did. I'm like, please don't do it, please don't do it. The Giants signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Go Giants, I guess. And I guess Jameis Winston, keep doing your weird introductions and doing your weird eating your finger W moments. I guess. Okay, alright. You just bye. Thank you for saying always winning. Yeah.
Greetings, young Padawans. I'm your host, Reginald Von Hooby-Dooby, and this is Reggie's Library. Today we're going to be talking about the Amulet graphic novel series. There are 8 of these books, but today I'm just going to be telling you about the first one, The Stone Keeper. After the tragic death of their father in a car accident, Emily Hayes, her younger brother Naven, and their mother Karen moved to an old house that once belonged to their great-grandfather Silas Charnon. While exploring, Emily finds a strange amulet inside a dusty study. As soon as she touches it, the amulet glows and attaches itself to her neck, seemingly impossible to remove. That night, Emily hears a voice coming from the amulet, warning her that danger is coming. Later that evening, Karen is attacked and kidnapped by a monstrous creature with tentacles. It drags her through a portal to another world. Determined to save her mother, Emily and Naven follow her through the portal and find themselves in a mysterious world called Okay, these are hard to pronounce. Emily and Naven follow her through the portal and find themselves in a mysterious world called Aladia. The children are rescued by Misket, a small, pink rabbit-like robot created by their great-grandfather, Silas. He brings them into Silas's house, which is actually a giant walking robotic structure. Inside, Silas, who is dying, tells Emily that she is now the new Stonekeeper, the wielder of the amulet's power. Before passing away, he warns her that the amulet is powerful but dangerous, as it has a will of its own. Emily soon realizes the amulet speaks to her, offering guidance but also tempting her with power. It tells her that she must embrace her role as a Stonekeeper to defeat the enemies of Aladia. With Misket's help, Emily and Naven set out to rescue their mother, who is being held captive by an evil arachnopod creature under the command of the Elf King. Along the way, they encounter dangerous creatures and deadly trials that force Emily to use the amulet's magic, including the ability to levitate objects and defeat enemies. They track Karen to an underground lair where she is poisoned by the monster and on the verge of death. Emily must act quickly, using the amulet's power to fight off the creature in a tense battle. However, the amulet's voice urges her to use even more power, hinting at a darker side to its magic. Despite the temptation, Emily manages to control the amulet and successfully rescues her mother. However, Karen is gravely injured from the poison, and the group realizes they must find a cure before it's too late. The book ends with Emily, Naven, Karen, and Misket escaping in Silas's walking house, setting off on a new adventure to find the way to heal their mother. However, the world of Aladia is full of danger and powerful forces, like the mysterious Prince Trellis, son of the Elf King, who is watching Emily closely. So that's the first book of the Amulet graphic novel series. I recommend reading them. This has always been a favorite of mine since I was like 7 years old. So, yeah.
Good morning, Miss Defino.
Good morning and happy first day of spring.
Yeah. Well, is it the last day of winter or first day of spring?
It's the first day of spring.
I think. All right. Well, cheers to that.
I've been celebrating it since the clock changed.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
we're having tea.
We're having tea. I'm doing chai.
Vanilla.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I actually wore this sweater intentionally because today is the last day of winter.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're wearing a sweater as
I
well.
am.
Yeah. It's all right
It's
there.
chilly out, so
Yeah. It's all right there. It's almost Earth Day.
yes.
There you go. In any case, this is a good time, I think, to sort of revisit some of our New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
We're actually at the end of March will be 25% through the year.
That's crazy.
Talk about if you can remember some of your resolutions that you made, and
Yeah.
then just sort of talk about how you're doing.
So one of mine was handstands. I have not been doing practicing my handstands, but I have been trying to get pull-ups.
Pull-ups, yeah. So we'll just swap.
So I
It's
kind
like
of
a little
switched
swap.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can't do pull-ups either. So I'm not sitting. I'm not.
We're
judging.
trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Solid. Still trying. Okay. I remember one that we shared was the arts.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been going?
So it's been doing just like 10, 20 minutes at a time. Sometimes working on the same thing, sometimes just random doodling, just trying to get something on paper. So that's been going well, but it hasn't been daily.
Okay.
What about you?
I've been doing like Post-it notes.
Okay.
Just little doodles on Post-it notes.
Mhm.
I use Post-it notes as like almost like a safety net. It's so small that I can manage the space more. It's not as scary as this
like
huge,
a sketchbook.
like this huge blank space where I'm just staring at the paper like, oh, I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
But I know realistically that that's just
I
hard.
often
Just do
think
it.
that too.
Yeah.
Like it has to be a finished piece that looks good.
Right.
Otherwise, it's pointless. But it's not pointless
It's
at
not
all.
It's not. I understand that the whole idea of this is just making art a practice, not like, oh, I'm selling $1,000 pieces. It's not what it's about.
Yeah.
So I just have to get that out of my mindset. But I think if I continue with the Post-it note thing, I will eventually get to bigger things.
It's not easy because a lot of us think that we just have to have like a finished piece and you can't just practice things.
Right.
But that's what a sketchbook is for. It's not really meant for other people to see.
Right. That's the whole idea.
Yeah. And then on my no buy, I've been doing really well. I have not bought anything new.
Nice.
At all.
Yeah.
I bought like a couple secondhand things, but cheap and secondhand.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's been going well.
Okay, so with the sketching thing, we were talking about this a little bit before. Managing time as just like a person existing nowadays.
Yeah.
Where like it's this weird sort of like culture of we should like always be doing something.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't want to be bored.
It's tough to get everything in, but I think having a routine and a scheduled time to kind of do things, you're more likely to do them instead of just telling yourself, oh, tomorrow I'll do it.
Right. Right. The procrastination is always,
Yeah.
I think your point of making the routine schedule is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
That's helpful to a lot of people.
Consistency, because then over time it just becomes a habit that you do all the time. So
cool.
All
right. Thank you. Cheers.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Always Winning. You can now find us on YouTube by searching Always Winning.
Thank you for listening to Always Winning. You can find us on YouTube by searching Always Winning. Look for the Panther logo.
Look for the Panther logo. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. If you aren't already, you could follow the school on Instagram at For the Winfield.
You can follow the school on Instagram at For the Winfield. And as always, if you want to be a part of the show.
And as always, if you want to be part of our show, you can email us at podcast@winfieldschool.org.
If you want to be part of the show, you can email us at podcast@winfieldschool.org.
You can ask our hosts a question or just leave a comment about the show.
You can ask our host a question or just leave a comment about the show. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Come back next week.
Thank you for listening. Come back next week for more Always Winning.
Come back next week for more Always Winning.